Golly, I'm on a roll. I think this is video number 5? I don't even know. I just got back from a walk. Very, very exhilarating, powerful walk. I can just tell I'm on a whole different timeline. Guys, I'm on a whole different timeline. That said, if you know, you know. All right. Before I start this video, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer out. All right. Whatever I say, whatever I talk about, different feelings, perceptions that I carry, opinions, beliefs, understandings, things of that nature. If it is something I say is bothersome to you, I'm sorry for that. I guess you gotta figure out why it's bothersome to you. I don't say anything intentionally to be bothersome to people, but have I been through a lot? Have I witnessed a lot? Absolutely. Do I have a strong understanding of a lot of things? I do indeed. And this particular scenario is going to be in reference to my son and the sports industry of it. All right. My son has always been very athletically inclined in all genres of sports. All right. And we've done them all. We've done them all. Okay. And it was always very important to me to keep my son, 1, 2, 3, as I say that, keep my son in sports because his father was not active. And so I wanted to make sure to keep him in sports, to keep him grounded, to have that camaraderie, to have that sportsmanship, and to be able to have some role models in his life that I couldn't provide him, you see. However, when he touched the soccer ball, it was in game. It was in game there. And so we did soccer since the age of him about 7 and 8, all the way up until 17. And we did travel soccer. And it was very hard. And I brought myself to the ground trying to keep up with the Joneses in that aspect of it because I'm a single woman on 1-person income. Everybody knows how expensive travel sports are. Let's just be honest here. Okay. Let's call a spade a spade. And that said, that's neither here nor there. But in the course of my son being in travel soccer and being in the sports ramifications of things, I got a good understanding of coaches, parents, and players on the field. And unfortunately, we live in a world where people run on ego, flesh and pride, jealousy, envy. And, when people see certain things in you, certain gifts, certain abilities, you have some people in this world that support, promote, and encourage like they say they do at like face value, and they truly do that genuinely. Okay. On the other side of that coin, you also have people that don't do that. Okay. You have people that say they do, but deep down inside, they actually work against it for whatever reason they got going on inside that little heart of theirs and that little mind. Right. And I've come into contact with many coaches, many people in the sports industry, school county, Okaloosa County, that took it upon themselves to make my son's life extra harder than it already was. Okay. Now, I'm not saying he's a saint in any of it by any means. He surely isn't. And I own that. My kid is not perfect by any means. Right. And I don't strive for him to be perfect, but what I do know and what I do recognize now, pulling back the veil of our little layer in reference to our story, there's been a lot of different culprits that have played their part. And it came to me on my walk because I saw one of his coaches twice on my walk. I didn't say 2 words, just walked by. Because people know what they do. People know what they're associated with. People know what kind of inner demons they battle. And furthermore, we have to be very mindful of scenarios, particularly in the ramification of things now, because we live in such a world where inappropriateness and pedophilia now is like the norm. And so you just have to be very careful when it comes to the intricate woven pieces of all the different adults and things that you have your kid around. Again, I'm not saying my kid went through any of that, but do I pick up on different things? Let's see how I can say this without, I don't know. You just have to be careful. Sometimes I question, let me just say it like this. All right. sometimes I question the background check that they do on these teachers and these coaches in reference to who is surrounded by our children. That's what I will say. And I'm going to leave that there. Okay. And so I'm sure that there's other parents out there that probably can resonate with this. And it's unfortunate because my son had such a strong passion for soccer and he was phenomenal at it. It was the best part of everything that we've been through is watching him on the fields, you know? And he lost that passion for it in like his, 17, 16 time frame between everything that was transpiring with the school coaches and all that was entangled in that. And then also with the travel team that we were in. And so it's really unfortunate because he lost his passion in that. And so we let go of the sport, we let go of travel. And so it's really unfortunate, but it just wasn't a part of his pathway, that was designed for him. And so you just got to be careful. That's why I always am so big on it's so important right now for all parents to be so present in your child's life. Ain't nothing like being mom and dad. I tried to do it to the best of my abilities. I haven't been perfect at it. That's for sure. I just, I lead into every scenario, every situation with my son. In the last year or so, last couple of years, I've gotten far better at it as I alleviated everybody in my life and truly honed in on being his parent and nothing outside of that. And I should have done that from the get-go, but I didn't. And I take ownership in that, right? Because I allowed the world to kind of get in the way of what you're truly put here to do as a parent, I believe, right? So anyways, I don't even know where I left off on that video, but my main thing that I say is when you have your kids in sports, you have them in travel sports, there's a lot of competitiveness, there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of politics in it, there's a lot of hearsay, it's everywhere, right? But just be mindful of your kid and what he's experiencing in the sport around him, and be that person that supports him and encourages him and holds him accountable in the way that you believe within yourself is right, because that's not always the case. That's provided by those that you pay to be a good role model for them, right? And so you just have to make sure that you are present in that aspect of it when you're walking into the sports arena, especially as a single parent, as well as if your child has particular gifts in the actual sport, you better build a backbone, okay? Because you're going to have all kinds of different angles that are going to try to tear him down and tear you down because they're threatened, right? And you're just going to have to advocate and stand up, right? And hold the line on that. And I kind of came to I definitely have always advocated for my kid, but not in the way that I should have, because I didn't have the strength for it. And I wish I would have, but hindsight 2020, it all worked out the way that it was supposed to, right? However, now looking back at it, I want to help those in perhaps different scenarios similar to mine, or maybe not in the same scenario, but you resonate with certain things. Just know that when your kid gets to like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, they need you then too, very much so, in this world. And it's going to be prevalent right now. And so I hope this video resonated. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day.